You ever notice how a woman can look calm, almost untouched, even after she's broken a good man? But beneath that calm surface, behind the controlled expression, there's a fear she will never admit. Not to you, not to her friends, not even to herself. And if you listen closely, you can almost feel the silence she carries, that quiet dread that follows her long after she walks away. Most men think women move on easily, but the truth is far darker, far more psychological than you've ever been told. Because when a woman realizes she hurt a man who genuinely cared, a man who meant what he said, her mind doesn't forget. It rewrites, rewinds, replaying moments she pretends don't matter. And that's where her fear begins. She fears the moment she wakes up one morning and realizes she misjudged everything, that the man she pushed away wasn't weak. He was rare. She fears the day she sees you smiling again, but not with her. She fears the woman standing beside you, the woman who receives the love she once took for granted. Because the truth is, losing a good man doesn't hurt instantly. It hits slowly, like a cold wave crawling up the spine. At first, she tells herself she's fine, that she made the right choice, that you weren't the one. But time has a cruel way of undoing the lies we tell ourselves. And for her, time becomes the enemy. A woman fears the moment she realizes your silence is not anger, it's acceptance. Because when a good man finally accepts what happened, something in him shifts. You can feel it. You become calmer, more self-contained. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing closure. You stop questioning your worth. That change terrifies her, because it means she no longer has access to you. See, women are not scared of losing men they don't value. They're scared of losing the men they might want back once it's too late. A good man is predictable in one way. You always know his intention. But he's unpredictable in the most dangerous way. Once he decides he's done, he never returns the same. And she fears that final version of you more than anything. The version of you that no longer needs her validation. The version of you that grew stronger because of the pain she caused. The version of you who realized he deserved better. Not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. And here's what she won't tell anyone. She fears being replaced. Not by a prettier woman, not by a richer woman, but by a woman who simply treats you the way you always deserved. Because deep down, she knows you weren't the problem. She was. And admitting that out loud would crumble the image she's desperately trying to protect. A woman can lie to the world. She can hide behind confidence, independence, and a smile that fools everyone. But she can't escape the truth in her own mind. And the truth is this: hurting a good man leaves a shadow on her conscience, a whisper she can't silence, a fear that someday she'll see you living a life she could have been part of, if only she loved you better. And that fear, it never fully goes away. There's a moment every woman fears after she walks away from a good man. A moment she hopes never comes, yet it always does. It's the moment she realizes you're no longer the same man she once had the power to hurt. Because here's the truth she never expected. Good men don't stay broken. They rebuild. And when they rebuild, they evolve into versions of themselves she can't reach anymore. At first, she assumes you'll wait. She assumes you'll still be there, emotionally tied, quietly hoping she'll return. She assumes your heart will remain exactly where she left it, open, exposed, and loyal to the memory of what the two of you had. But the world doesn't work that way. And neither does a good man who grows through pain instead of drowning in it. What she really fears is the day she sees you becoming someone she no longer recognizes. A man who laughs again. A man who looks lighter, sharper, more focused. A man who walks differently because the weight of her chaos isn't on his shoulders anymore. That transformation triggers something deep inside her psychology because she expected you to crumble. She expected to remain the one person who shaped your heart the most. She expected her absence to define you. But then she sees it. You rising without her. You healing without her. You glowing in a way you never did when you were trying to hold the relationship together by yourself. And that's when fear sets in. She fears your evolution because it forces her to face the truth she avoided. She didn't just lose a man. She lost the version of you who would have loved her through anything. A good man's love is steady, loyal, safe. And women don't forget that kind of love, even if they pretend to. They may move on physically, but emotionally, they carry the imprint of the man who truly cared. She fears you're learning boundaries. She fears you're discovering self-worth. She fears you're finally seeing that you were the prize all along. But her deepest fear is knowing that once a good man outgrows the pain she caused, he won't look back with longing. He'll look back with wisdom. Because wisdom makes a man dangerous. Wisdom makes a man selective. Wisdom makes a man untouchable to the same patterns that once held him back. She fears the day Karma walks into her life dressed as the man she hurt, not to get revenge, but to show her what a healed man looks like. And that healed version of you? It holds a mirror to her choices. It exposes what she ruined. It forces her to admit, silently, privately, that she miscalculated your value. Even if she never says it out loud, even if pride locks her tongue, even if she pretends she doesn't care. The truth is always there, sitting behind her smile, hidden behind her confidence, buried under the image she's fighting to protect. She fears you finally understanding this one powerful reality. You weren't hard to love. You were just trying to love someone who wasn't ready to meet a man like you. And once a good man realizes this, something irreversible happens. He doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't wait. He simply moves on. And that, more than anything, terrifies her. There's a fear women carry that they'll never confess, not even to their closest friends. It's the fear that the good man they hurt will become the man another woman prays for. Because once a good man withdraws his heart, something shifts in the universe around him, his energy, his presence, his standards. And that shift creates a ripple effect she can feel, even from a distance. She starts watching you without admitting she's watching. Maybe she sees a new photo you posted. Maybe she hears about you through mutual friends. Maybe she notices you stopped checking her stories, stopped reacting, stopped caring. And that's when the fear becomes real, because nothing is louder to a woman than the silence of a man who once loved her deeply. At first, she tries to convince herself she made the right decision. She tells herself she needed space. She tells herself she wanted something different. She tells herself you'd always be an option she could return to if life didn't go the way she planned. But then she sees it, you becoming unavailable. Not because another woman took her place yet, but because you took your heart back. And that terrifies her more than anything. Women don't fear losing a man they never respected. They fear losing the man whose love they might never experience again. She knows how rare it is to meet a man who listens, who cares, who tries, who shows up even when he doesn't feel appreciated. And deep down, she knows she pushed away the exact thing she will one day look for in someone else and won't find. This is where her mind betrays her. She begins replaying the relationship, every moment, every argument, every time you loved her harder than she loved you. But this time, she's not remembering as the woman who left. She's remembering as the woman who lost. And the scariest part for her, she realizes you didn't lose her. She lost you. A good man doesn't make a scene when he's done. He doesn't start fights. He doesn't seek revenge. He doesn't try to make her jealous. He simply stops giving his energy to someone who misused it. And that quiet exit is what haunts her. Because she expected you to chase. She expected you to wait. She expected you to hold on to hope. But instead, you matured past the version of yourself who needed her. And once a woman realizes a man no longer needs her emotionally, something inside her cracks. Her confidence shakes, her ego bruises, her certainty collapses. She fears the moment you meet a woman who sees your worth instantly. A woman who doesn't need to break you first to realize how valuable you are. Because women know something men rarely acknowledge. A good man healed is 10 times more appealing than a good man hurting. You become wiser, calmer, harder to manipulate, harder to lie to, harder to take for granted. You become the kind of man she always wanted, but no longer has access to. And the truth is, she fears that more than heartbreak, because heartbreak fades. But regret? Regret repeats, regret whispers, regret stays. And when she finally understands everything she took for granted, she'll look back at the man who loved her, only to find he became a man who doesn't look back at all. There's a moment that shakes a woman to her core, the moment she realizes the man she hurt is no longer emotionally tied to her, not angry, not bitter, not waiting, just free. Because freedom in a good man is powerful. It radiates. It shifts how he speaks, how he moves, how he carries himself. And when she sees that shift, whether up close or from a distance, it hits her with a truth she never prepared for. She didn't just lose you. She lost the version of herself she was when she had access to you. A good man brings out a certain softness in a woman, a gentleness she doesn't show to everyone. But when she realizes she can no longer reach that part of herself with you, something inside her collapses. Because it means the chapter she thought she controlled is now closed, by you, not by her. And here's the part she fears the most. When a good man moves on, he becomes unpredictable in the best possible way, not reckless, not impulsive, but elevated. He becomes the man he always had the potential to be, after shedding the weight of someone who didn't know how to appreciate him. You start investing in yourself again. Your confidence begins to return. Your eyes stop looking tired. Your voice changes. It carries more certainty, less hesitation, and she feels all of it. Even if she never admits it, she senses the shift, because women can feel when the emotional cord is cut. It's like a door closing somewhere in the distance, quiet but final. Suddenly, she starts questioning herself in ways she never did before. Was I the problem? Did I give up too fast? Did I ruin something that could have been everything? Will I ever find a man like him again? These questions don't surface because she still deserves you. They surface because she realizes she misjudged what she had. A woman might walk away thinking she can find better, but the moment she watches you become better without her, the illusion breaks. She sees you leveling up. She sees your discipline sharpening. She sees your peace returning. She sees your standards rising. And suddenly, she's not as confident as she once was. Because deep down, she knows something most men overlook. A woman never forgets the man she felt safe with, the man she trusted, the man who loved her with intention, not convenience. Those men don't blend into memory. They leave a mark. And when she sees you healing, growing, rising, she realizes something brutal. She lost a man who would have given her the world, and now the world is shaping you into someone even harder to win back. She fears the day another woman discovers what she walked away from. Your loyalty, your patience, your effort, your heart. Because she knows another woman will value what she didn't. Another woman will protect what she damaged. Another woman will look at you the way she should have. And once that happens, she'll understand the full weight of her mistake. Not because you became perfect, but because you became unavailable. And nothing scares a woman more than realizing the door she once closed is the door she can never walk through again. There's a fear that settles into a woman long after she's hurt a good man. A fear she tries to outrun, but it follows her everywhere. In quiet moments, in late-night thoughts, in the spaces where honesty creeps in. It's the fear that life will eventually show her exactly what she lost, because time has a way of revealing truth. And the truth is this: good men don't stay broken. Good men don't stay confused. Good men don't stay stuck. They transform. And that transformation is her biggest fear. Not because she wants to control you, but because she knows she was closest to the version of you who loved without hesitation. And now, someone else will meet the version of you who loves with wisdom. She fears the moment your happiness becomes undeniable. When she hears your laugh and it isn't heavy anymore. When she sees your eyes and they no longer carry the pain she caused. When someone mentions your name and her chest tightens, not from love, but from regret. Because at some point she realizes something she never expected. She didn't hurt a weak man, she hurt a strong man who simply loved deeply. And strong men who love deeply don't fall apart, they rise differently. That's the part she never planned for. She expected you to linger in heartbreak. She expected your life to pause while she figured herself out. She expected you to be the man who would always be there, the constant, the steady hand, the open door. But when she sees you growing beyond the version of yourself that once fought for her, when she realizes you replaced confusion with clarity, sadness with purpose, loneliness with discipline, that's when the fear becomes inescapable. Because she knows the truth every woman eventually faces. There is no replacement for a good man she once had, but didn't know how to keep. She fears that another woman will experience the consistency she never returned, the effort she never matched, the love she never reciprocated. She fears that another woman will get the version of you she always believed she would benefit from someday, the healed, focused, evolved version. The man who learned to love himself enough to stop tolerating half-love from anyone. And here's the part that stings her the most. The new woman won't have to fix you. She'll receive you whole, steady, present. She'll get the man built from the lessons of your past, the man your pain sculpted, the man she broke unknowingly created. That's the story she never wanted to be the villain in. But life doesn't rewrite itself just to protect her ego. Because losing a good man doesn't hit all at once. It hits slowly. It hits quietly. It hits in layers. The realization, the reflection, the regret. And the deepest fear she carries is this. One day she'll see you loving someone the way she always wanted to be loved. And she'll know with absolute certainty that it could have been her. If only she hadn't taken your heart for granted. You didn't just move on. You outgrew the version of yourself who needed someone who didn't know how to value you. And that evolution, the evolution she helped cause, is the one thing she can never undo. So now I want to ask you, the man watching this, have you ever been the good man a woman realized she lost too late? Comment below. I want to hear your story. And if this message hit your heart, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a brother who needs to hear it today. You never know whose life you might change.